Suddenly, Meave's force found itself marching straight towards a Nilfgaardian company. To the Queen's surprise, the invaders did not immediately assume battle formation. They proceeded instead in her very direction without a sign of panic. The man leading the Nilfgaardians was clad in rich robes. He exuded pride and the scent of musk.
I am Tthronebreaker, Your Majesty. I was asked to present your esteemed grace the ultimatum of the forces of the Empire of Nilfgaard.
The envoy cracked the seal on a scroll, unfurled it, took a deep breath, and began to read.
I, General Ardal Epdahi, demand the immediate and unconditional surrender of Lyria and Rivia. Elsewise, I will burn down every city, town, village, and temple, place all your subjects in chains, and your armed men, defeated and captured, I will hang along the roadsides as a warning to all others in the barbarous north.
As the final threat echoed in Meave's ears, the envoy put away the scroll and stood waiting for her answer, a mocking smile on his face. He allowed himself this insolence, believing the immunity accorded diplomats would shield him from any form of royal ire.
His Excellency speaks true. We Nordlings are barbarians, without exception,
answered the Queen. Though her voice was calm, most of those listening shuddered inside.
We neither hold nor honor the standards of the civilized world. Among them, the immunity of envoys. At the...
This is savagery! Barbers! Do attack an emissary!
Left, right, left, right.
One bolt all I need. Give me a target.
My lady, your majesty, you must stop this!
Our ballista, your command.
We must trust each other.
Oh, Lyrian lummoxes.
This is savagery! Barbers! Do attack an emissary!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Discipline shall bring us victory.
This is savagery! Barbers! Do attack an emissary!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Armor won't save him.
My lady, your majesty, you must stop this!
Company, forward march!
Pays late. Again.
We must trust each other.
One boat's all I need.
This is savagery! Barbers! To attack an emissary!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
My lady, your majesty, you must stop this!
Discipline shall bring us victory!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Company! Forward march!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
This is savagery! Barbers! To attack an emissary!
Left, right, left, right.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
This is savagery! Barbers! To attack an emissary!
Left, right, left, right.
This is savagery! Barbers! To attack an emissary!
Come on.
Suddenly, Meaves fought the end as the fire.
His Excellency speak.
This is savagery! This is savagery! Barbarous! To attack an emissary!
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Oh, Lyrian lummoxes.
My lady, your majesty, you must stop this!
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Should have listened to me old lady. Armor won't save him.
The envoy's escort crumbled beneath the onslaught of Meaves' Lyrians, who grabbed the emissary and brought him before their queen. Robes torn and head blooded, he no longer exuded imperial pride.
Your Grace, what would you have us do with this pompous arse?
Kill him. Then take his head, drop it in a jug of honey, and deliver it to General ЕП-3 with my compliments.
The envoy objected, protested, pleaded, cited pacts and conventions, even went so far as to call on common human decency. Meve was deaf to all. Then one day, gazing towards the horizon, the Queen spotted Lyrian banners whipping about in the wind.
At long last,
She said with a smile. Meve resolved to speak with the commander, one Baronet Eldar. It was the first time they met, and the youth very much impressed her. Yet instead of questioning Eldar about the foe's troop movements, Reynard took the conversation down a seemingly irrelevant path.
And how's your father, if I may ask? In good health, I hope?
Yes, though he still nurses that bump he suffered while hunting last winter. Yet he's not one to complain. I'll tell him you asked.
Irritated at the trivial nature of the conversation, Meve gave her horse a dose of her reins and cantered off. Once Eldar and his men were safely behind them, she took Reynard aside.
Reynard, this is no time for gossip and pleasantries. We are at war.
Yes, Your Majesty. And in such times, little should be taken at face value. Even a man's name.
Get to the point, Reynard.
Eldar's father died a month past. His son, I venture, should have known as much.
But that means... Oh, the bastard. Impeccable accent, though.
I fear he's rather representative of what we face. Nilfgaardian spies are ever well prepared.
Tell me, how did you know?
He wears no mourning on his armor. Were it not for that, I dare say I might never have guessed. What are your orders, Your Grace? To observe these Nilfgaardian mummers?
Assemble a force. Tell them to follow our new allies. Observe them closely.
As you wish, Your Grace.
Reynard's scouts did as ordered, watching the false Lyrians while themselves remaining unseen. Soon after, a scout returned with news that the false Lyrians seemed headed for Rastburg, a castle several leagues to the north.
What the devil is going on? Where are our reinforcements? Why does Willem not ride out to face the foe, relieve besieged town?
Beware, my lady. Keep a keen watch. Heard the thunder of hooves from behind.
Blackclads trampled my son, your majesty. They saw him walking along the road.
Neve's retinue was riding through a narrow gully when a shrill cry cut the air.
En van den Order!
The gully came alive, and soldiers in black armor rushed forth. A cry in turn went up and down Neve's ranks. Ambush!
Defensive formation!
Scrubbing duty again? Oh, gods. New orders? No? Ah.
Again and again and again.
Alba!
For Rivia!
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
There, gloire! Mama won't say.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Company! Forward march!
A highly curious case.
One bolt's all I need.
Scheiß! In 2! off to the front yet again.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Yep.
Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
Left, right, left, right.
I want them taken alive! I need answers!
After the skirmish, the Queen's troops brought several Nilfgaardian prisoners before her. Reynard, who had the best command of their mongrel tongue, interrogated. His first question? How many battalions were marching on Dravograd?
Kes, Zagdran, ep-Dravograd, Ven.
The prisoners whispered feverishly, then one spoke on their behalf. They would answer no questions until the Queen pledged to free them in return. The Lyrian soldiers saw this as arrogance, and said as much.
Conditions they're giving us now? Sons of whores! I say, we find a tree with a strong bough, several...
I know not the custom in Nilfgaard, but here in the north, the vanquished do not make demands.
Meve gazed at the prisoners.
Since you do not wish to speak, you shall remain forever silent. Ready a rope!
That day, Meve demonstrated she would show the invaders no mercy. The Lyrians marched off, strengthened in their resolve, prepared to fight to the death. Meve and company passed by a village evidently pillaged by the Nilfgaardians. From afar they had heard cries, but as they drew near they recognized them not as cries of grief, but as cursing, cries of anger.
Give him a proper walloping, the scoundrel!
Mercy, good folk! I've done nothing wrong!
The villagers stood gathered near the hamlet's center, surrounding an elf, bloodied and cowering. Stones in hand, the peasants threatened and cursed him. The Queen demanded an explanation. A ruddy-faced blacksmith stepped forth and spit.
A Nilfgaardian spy the horse and his, your majesty. He's the one brought him here to raise the village. He's got a hang.
The other villagers agreed with the smith. The elf fell at the Queen's feet and grovelled.
Have mercy, Drenna. Save your loyal subject. They lie! They fault me only as I am an elf.
Whence this certainty of his guilt? Have you any proof?
Asked Meve.
Did anyone see him communing with the foe? Did he hold any coin with a foreign stamp?
The villagers eyed Meve angrily, their hands clenched into fists. Yet none dared utter a word in protest.
Know this. The Blackclads need no reason to pillage our homes. Now stand aside and let this wretch go.
The elf tearfully thanked the Queen, then begged her not to leave him behind. Instead, he pleaded vehemently to join her retinue.
Your most noble grace, please, I beg you. As soon as you're gone, the Dwan will hang me from the nearest tree.
So be it,
said the Queen after a moment's consideration.
Find the quartermaster. He's to put you to work. And now we march.
The villagers gazed with hatred as the company left the hamlet. When its thatched roof huts disappeared beyond the next bend, Meve breathed a sigh of relief.
I swear it, Your Majesty. The elf was scheming with the Blackclads. The gods be witnesses.
Remember this, Nilfgaardians. You'll not defeat the gods. They fear not your torches.
A dark shadow suddenly cut across the sky. The Queen instinctively brought her shield up, convinced a Nilfgaardian catapult had lobbed a boulder their way. When the boulder landed in the road ahead, it smashed into splinters and proved an empty barrel.
This is what they cast at us. Barrels. Is this some jest?
Well, they're not known for their sense of humor, the Nilfgaardians,
answered Reynard. Meve stood in her stirrups, squinted, peered into the distance, and let out a hearty chortle. For the barrel had been loosed by neither catapult nor trebuchet, but by a rock troll consumed by fury. At what? A company of Nilfgaardian soldiers had pitched camp by the cave the troll called home.
I'd be most pleased to sit and observe the entertainment while nipping on sunflower seeds. But duty beckons. So we ride on.
The Queen forbade her force from intervening. She cared not at all for the Nilfgaardians nor the beast. Moments later, the soldiers heard the troll's triumphant roar. Meve could not help but to subtly smile. If only all her realm's inhabitants resisted the invader so fiercely.
So many armed men in my life, and each one in black plate.
Look at the palisades. The machines of war. Too many to count.
I cannot fathom it. Has Nilfgaard sent all its forces into Lyria?
No, your grace. But a single army.
Gods protect us.
The Queen uttered a juicy curse. Dravograd stood before them, Nilfgaardians all round it, 3, perhaps 4 battalions of armored infantry, arbalists and cavalry behind them. Trebuchet volleys had punched holes in the walls, while battering rams had twisted the main gate open. But elsewise, the city was mere moments from falling to the foe.
Doomed! We stand not a chance. Nilfgaard outnumbers us twofold. More!
Then our men must put double the spirit into the fight. Double the heart. Lyria!
Emboldened by their valiant queen and commander, the Lyrians charged headlong at Nilfgaard's lines into a hail of bolts and arrows.
Attack! Rid this city of all black-clad filth!
Your grace, I see the commander. We must train our efforts on him.
Alba!
Can't take it anymore.
Aye.
Hellcatzer!
Time I taught you some respect.
Ah, should have listened to me, old lady.
Tell me you jest.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Give me a target.
Left, right, left, right.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Again and again and again. Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Your Grace, there, on the horizon. Reinforcements for the foe.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
To me, ni gloire!
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Alba!
Attack! Rid this city of all black-clad filth!
Your Grace, I see the commander. We must train our efforts on him.
Can't take it anymore.
Alba!
gloire!
Keep calm, Tiberius.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am. Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
Your Grace, there, on the horizon. Reinforcements for the foe.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Alba!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Very gloire!
Aye.
Destillat Zweifel!
One vote I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Off to the front yet again.
Left, right, left, right.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
They retreat! Your Majesty, the city's ours!
The Nilfgaardians fled in panic, abandoning war machines, shields and arms, even their wounded. The defenders rejoiced. They laughed boisterously, and cries of delight and chanting could be heard all around. "Warrior Queen," they shouted. "Meve! Meve! Meve!"
Hear that, Your Grace.
I do. No sound rings more lovely to a ruler's ear. Yet rest on our laurels we cannot. Caldwell, the situation in the town, what can you tell me?
Wall breached. Thrice. 400 wounded, near 1,000 without roofs over their heads. All nothing compared to the grain stores. Went up in smoke during the siege. And it's some time yet afore the harvest. Your Grace, the war's just begun, I know. All coin should bolster the army, yet if we leave the folk of Dravograd no gold, there will be hunger, with all the attendant discord.
The drought of 1258 I remember all too well. I saw famine, what it drives folk to do, the extremes. A strong army I need desperately, yet not at all costs. The townsfolk need gold to survive till the harvest. Count how much, then give it to the garrison commander.
As you command, Your Grace?
The battle we've won, there's just the war that remains. And Nilfgaard will strike again, doubt it not. We must move on. Caldwell, ride ahead to Lyria. My son must call a gathering of the Council of Peers. Tell him so. We'll have much to discuss. Reynard and I will follow with the troops. We shall seek out any Nilfgaardian stragglers, prevent them from rejoining the main force.
Meve's two adjutants bowed and left the Queen to think. She was hungry, sore from the fight, spent. Yet sensing her soldiers' eyes upon her, she set off for the stable, her gait brisk, her head held high.